Hello and welcome to this video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of the minuet. I'd like to start by offering you 5 quick fun facts about the minuet, so you get to know it a little better before we dive in. Number 1. The minuet is in 3/4 time, and it was originally a graceful French court dance with small elegant steps. Number 2. It's usually in binary form, and has 2 repeated sections, even though the full minuet and trio movement becomes ABA, i.e. ternary form. Number 3. It sits in the classical symphony, typically the 3rd movement in Haydn and Mozart pieces. Number 4. It uses balanced phrasing, clear 4-bar and 8-bar phrases. Number 5. It later evolved into the scherzo, which Beethoven used to great effect to speed it up and make it more dramatic, which transformed the movement entirely. So now we've got to know some things about a minuet, let's talk about our mission today. Well, I've written a minuet for you, I'm sure you expected I had, and I've put it in the key of A major, which means we have 3 sharps. This is where I got my wonderful name from, and like many classical composers, I've called it the piece in terms of its form and the key that it's in, hence Minuet in A. If only everything was so simple. Artists today wouldn't need to come up with all these fanciful names for their pieces. Just call it Pop Song in C major and be done. Right, let's have a look at the minuet then I have written before we go any further. Here it is, Minuet in A. I hope you enjoyed Minuet in A, and as you can hear, it is a lively creature indeed, so it's going to be a little while before you can learn this piece and get through it without some tactical advantages that I hopefully will give you today. Now, for bonus points, there may be some amongst you thinking, hang on, your fact said that minuets are in binary form, and you've just played us a piece which clearly has 3 sections in an ABA form. Well, I have indeed. Well done. Bonus points awarded. In fact, the minuet, as I mentioned, usually is in binary form, but there are many examples, especially in teaching pieces and by Mozart himself, that are in ternary form. So it is quite okay to do this, as long as we're acknowledging what we're up to and we're not putting this in a classical symphony and causing havoc in the orchestra. So let's have a look then through the piece and discover all of the bits and pieces that we can do to help ourselves learn this piece. At the beginning, first of all then, we'll encounter some triplets. Again, a fun feature of pieces which I learnt from the 5-year-old Mozart. It's taking me a while to catch up with 5-year-old Mozart, but this was my best effort. And as we look through, these triplets give the piece a much livelier feel. They are visitors from the world of 9/8. So remember my tactics for triplets. Turn every crotchet into a triplet, and then you've got 9 evenly spaced notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everybody's a triplet. We know what the speed are. Triplets are always even. That means that we can align the right hand's notes with those triplet speeded left hands. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm very happy. And you'll be very grateful, I'm sure, that I didn't put any quavers in here to dupletize the piece in a rather awkward way. So let's have a look at how the first line goes then with its phrasing. I'm sure you can hear the lovely minuet giving us some very easy phrases to acknowledge. We've got a great cadence there, moving up to the E major chord in the middle of the piece. I've then popped us down a little bit for variety, and given us the same cadence again. And it's typical that pieces will have this repetitive sound to them, and the variety given by the octave just offsets that enough to make it not too monotonous. I've also added the squiggle, better known as the mordent, to give us on the B. Now, I'm sure you don't want me to repeat all of my mordent instructions too many times, but here we go. A little quick tip for you with mordents. Play the two notes together, and then lift up the note you don't want. So whilst we're trying to play B, C sharp, B quickly, what we actually want to do is jam the keys down, lift up the C sharp, and we get that very quick sound. Now this is the first step then towards separating them. Becomes, and you can see they're almost pressed at the same time. And again, the worst thing to do is what we most likely would start with without any teaching, and that's the separate notes, and then try and speed them up. And they end up very loud and very clunky. So we're trying to make sure that the principal note, the B this time round, is the loudest, and then you gradually get some nice neat ones occurring in there, and you'll refine that, I'm sure, as you move forward. So on with line 2. Line 2 features a sequence. A sequence in music is a passage that repeats but moves in pitch, normally up or down, and creates this feeling of progression in the piece. First in A, then in E, F sharp minor. But what's this? Ooh, the mystery chord. This lovely mystery chord at the end is the fantastic diminished chord. It is not major, it is not minor, it is one of the two other types of main chords we see, the other fourth one being the augmented chord. The diminished chord has equally spaced intervals of minor thirds, the E sharp in this case up to G sharp to B, and B to D. And you can see that forms an equally spaced pattern. I couldn't fit any more notes in, and if I extend the pattern, I drop myself back to or above to one of those same notes again. So is this an E sharp diminished chord? Well, it could be. It's also a G sharp, a B, or a D diminished chord. You can call it any of those things. They're all equally spaced. So this chord is very useful for transporting us chromatically upwards, that is, to the next door black or white note, to one of these keys. I could use this to transport myself from E sharp to F sharp and give us this. Very bright sound. We can also use it to go from B to C and from D maybe up to D sharp. But as you can tell, I've used the G sharp to take us back to A. And this feels very triumphant and successful, and it's just a nice extra bit of intrigue in there for the listener as they hear our minuet. The last line then is the same as the first, so that's not going to take too much to go through, except in order for the piece not to go round ad infinitum, I've added the A at the end to finish it off. And there we have it, a minuet in A. I do hope you've enjoyed exploring this minuet with me today. If you have, please remember to press the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe for more free music like this, then please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy your journey.